Hello there and welcome back. Today I would like to talk a little bit about how we can consistently be on the path of achieving our goals every single year. And so this is a procedure. It's something that you keep doing to your brain, right, over and over and over again, so that it makes way for the things that will allow you to achieve success. My name is Robert. I've personally been raised in a very, very modest home. The only reason I'm not saying poor is because I don't want to be disrespectful to my parents that have given me shelter. We did have food. We did have education. It wasn't the best one, but it was public education, very good, much better than nothing. So, however, at the beginning, we were in a place where, for example, if I would go to my parents and say, hey, can I go buy myself something? The answer is almost always no, we don't have money, we don't have money, we don't have money, right? At one point when I was a little bit older, my parents had the decision between buying a new car or buying a car, any car for ourselves, or getting a computer, because we didn't have money to do both, imagine. And we would take baths only once a week because we had we had to make a fire to have hot water, and we could only make a fire once a week so that the entire family would wash in that one water, right, one hot water, so that we would get washed, right? So that's where I started. To now we own a portfolio of 8 businesses generating 7 figures, multiple 7 figures. So we're in a very, very good place. This has been just a few decades, and our reality, our economy is vastly different than it was just 20 years ago. It's crazy how much we have managed to grow as a family and how much we managed to expand. And so the big part of that is mindset, having the willingness to keep evolving your mindset. And that's actually my first point for today in this video. I would warmly invite you to accept or maybe consider the possibility everything you know today has a better version of that same thing. So if you believe that this is what I should eat to be healthy, I would like to invite you to consider that there might be something better out there. If you believe that this is how you should run your business, consider that there might be a better way. If this is how you manage your relationships at home or anything, consider that there might be something better out there. And if you can consider that, I would let's say warmly invite you to the following thing, which is to consider that if there might be something, chances are that through 7 billion people that have experienced similar to what you're going through right now, and many more, because there are past generations as well that have left us amazing books and insights and lessons, I would probably consider that there is 100% is a better way of thinking, a better way of doing, a better way of saying things all the time. So if we understand this first concept initially, this will be the most important thing. If you just take this one thing from this video, which is to truly open your mind, truly, not just say, oh, I have an open mind, I'm open to ideas. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, if we have a conversation, how many times will you say, I am, I do, this is how I do, this is how I think, this is how I conduct myself? Though you're literally defining yourself in a box, you're literally saying, this is how I am, this is what I am. Are those beliefs serving you, right? Are they getting you the exact results you want? If they are, perfect, keep doing them. If they're not, reconsider. So that's basically it. Open up, keep your mind open to keep learning new things and better ways of conducting yourself and your thoughts. So let's start off by one of the things that has helped me a lot. When I was young, my mother was very religious. She still is to this day. And I used to go to church. I used to be sent to church or taken to church, right? So in church, we learned a lot of, I would say, very important morals of how to love one another, how to treat everyone as brothers and sisters, how to not judge, not be judgmental. The moment I hear someone judging someone else, a part of me gets so upset inside, like, come on, just stop. So why are you judging someone else? You don't know. And even if you do know, stop judging. That's not your job. Just move on with your own life. Leave them alone, right? So there are just these things there that are principles. Do not do unto the golden rule. Do not do unto others what you would not have done unto you. These very specific principles, I feel, have helped me so much in life, because guess what? The thing that gets you bogged down most, that seeps away at your energy most, is not being aligned with the truth. The truth is that we should love one another. The truth is that I shouldn't hate anyone. The truth is that I should not fight against anyone. The truth is that this isn't a real competition. We should all just strive to do better for our clients, do better for society, do better for ourselves, do better for our family, and so on and so forth. If you and I are competing, one does not need need to lose in order for both of us to win, right? So this is just what I believe as the truth, and a few other things that have helped me significantly. Whether you're Christian, whether you're Buddhist, whether you're Muslim, whether you're whatever, it doesn't matter. There are certain fundamental principles that help a lot in life, and these are a few of them. For example, there's a quote out there that says an eye for an eye. Okay, let me suggest a better quote. Instead of an eye for an eye, think of what Gandhi said: an eye for an eye and the entire world goes blind. Because guess what? People make mistakes. People lie, sometimes without knowing, sometimes consciously because they're afraid. People steal sometimes because they don't know what else to do. They don't have enough, so they steal. People promise you things and they're not going to withhold their promise. People have a car accident and hit someone you love, and guess what? That is just what it is. I'm sorry. That is life, you know? Life is not meant to be fair. Life is meant to be true. The truth is that things happen. So again, an eye for an eye and the entire world goes blind. So stop thinking like that. If someone does wrong onto you, to say, okay, we don't need to be friends. If that is how you think and this is what you believe that you should be doing towards me, then obviously you don't love me enough to actually not inflict harm upon me, so I will move on with my life. And that's it, right? So again, whatever you believe in, think about it. I pray about it. To learn the truth, I pray. This is what I use prayer for. I pray to learn the truth and to get wisdom. That's basically the concept. If you have, in the first part, open your mind up to the possibilities, in the second part, focus on the truths. Because as long as you follow the truths, your path is guided. You'll be more safe, you'll be safer. You won't have regrets on your soul, right? You won't have frustrations keeping you back. After that, I want to talk to you a little bit about love. Love is, in my honest opinion, and by the way, everything I say is honest. I just sometimes I say honest because people believe we have masks all day, especially people on YouTube. Right? So love is almost the cure-all for anything, almost anything. Literally, it's so fundamentally powerful. If you love yourself, you will stop hurting yourself. If you, like, for example, a person that loves themselves will not drink alcohol. They know it's not good for them. A person that loves themselves will not smoke. They will not use drugs. They will not push themselves in the gym up until, they break something or whatever. They will not eat, pizza, snacks. They won't eat things. They will do research on what they should feed their body because they love their body. If you love yourself, you're not going to do the things that would otherwise harm you. Takes self-respect, self-love, dignity, right? That's how you define it. It's love. If I love others, I will not do harm unto them. If I love my wife, guess what? I will never say or do things that are bad to her. And never, I say flexibly, because I'm also human. Sometimes I get angry at things and then she's just there and I snap. And she's like, why are you snapping? I'm like, I'm sorry, it has nothing to do with you. Right? So those things can happen. Again, an eye for an eye and the entire world goes blind. Instead of that, focus on forgiveness, focus on understanding, loving the other person. If you would love people to be more understanding towards you, you show that towards them. You be more understanding, right? So that's love. And I do suggest you use love in every single thing you do. If you make love part of who you are, if I deliver service, I do so lovingly. If I take someone's money, I do so lovingly, thinking that I will put this money to good use. If you paid me for a service, I will lovingly give you 10 times more than you paid me if I can, with the time and effort that I can dedicate in that particular service, right? So do your work lovingly, treat others lovingly, treat yourself lovingly. Love is such an important part of your mindset, I believe. If you manage to get this in, then it is going to help you in so many ways. It's crazy. After that is desire. So everything in life is creation. If you've ever heard about, people sometimes say this false statement of money is the root of all evil. That is false. And you can say that does not appear in any Bible, that specific sentence. What it actually says in the Christian Bible is the love of money, in parentheses greed, right? The love of money is the root of all evil. Greed is the root of all evil. With greed is like almost the opposite of love. The opposite of love is indifference. If you're indifferent to something completely, that's the opposite of love. Because if you're greedy about something, you do care about that thing, right? So coming back, greed, yes, is the root of all evil. Okay, fine. I'm perfectly fine with that. Desire, on the other hand, I desire to have a better life. I desire to create more for myself and my family. I desire to add more value to my community. I desire to take humanity forward. I desire to build, to create, to do more, to be more, to have more. Desire. Allow yourself to desire. Desire is the fundamental building block of every cell in your body. Just try this. Just close your nose and your mouth and just try to not breathe. You will see you cannot do that. If you're very stubborn, you'll literally just faint, because at one point your body will say, oh God, this person doesn't know how to use us. And you'll just faint. It's a self-protection mechanism of the body. So because when you faint, you can't control your own actions. So you faint, and then the body can go back to breathing, right? It can then regain its function. Every cell in your body has the desire to survive, to live, to become stronger. This is what God wants. At least that's what I believe. It's desire. Desire is like creation, right? Why do we exist in the first place? We exist because we are creation. We are here to create. We are here to do. If you're religious, you'll believe we are here to do God's work. We are here to do what we are here to do, right? Like you, based on your talents, based on your, what you like, what you want to do, and so on and so forth. It's that desire. Allow yourself to desire, right? And when I talk about desire, by the way, I'm not talking about lust. I'm not talking about desiring, like you're in a relationship and you're desiring someone else. That's not the type of desire I'm talking about. I'm talking about desire, the desire to create, right? The desire to be more, to do more, to have more, okay? That desire is God-given. It's in every cell of your body to desire, okay? So that will also help you to allow yourself to desire things, to dream, and to then do, okay? After that, something that helps your mindset a lot is personal development. I did not engage in personal development until I was, I believe, 19 or 20 or something like that. When I got the book, I literally got How to Influence and Influence People. I got it from someone. It's like, Robert, you're so nice, so good. You need to read this book. I'm like, okay, I don't know how to read. I was dyslexic, by the way. So I was like, no, you need to read this book. Please read this book. Like, okay, fine, I'll try. And then I read a few pages. I was in shock. I couldn't believe how much wisdom there was in one book. I've not read any books. Again, because I was dyslexic, I couldn't read up until that point. I was literally, it was so difficult for me, but I was going through everything and I was enjoying it. I learned so much, and that put me off on the path of personal development. I read book after book after book after book. And by the way, I cured myself of dyslexia. If you want to know how I did it, I can tell you in an email. Just email me at robertindries.com and I'd gladly tell you. So that helped me. And something that it has helped me with is to learn success principles, right? Like, what are other people doing? Tony Robbins calls it modeling the masters, right? How can you model the masters? How can you model people that have already succeeded? I'm not saying modeling like doing exactly what they did. I'm just saying trying to do what they did. See how it works for you and see how you can become better for it, right? So basically take what's good from people that have already succeeded. Talk to them, email them, DM them, whatever. Just get in touch with them, or just learn from their books or their videos or whatever they have, okay? And then after that, I want to talk about 3 more things. So responsibility. Too many people blame. Too many people criticize. Too many people point fingers. Too many people come up with excuses. Do this for me. For the next 7 days, do not blame anything or anyone. Do not give any excuses for anything. Don't give an excuse. Just literally, if you're coming up with an excuse to something you should have done but haven't, or something you should have said but haven't, don't allow yourself to do that. Just don't, right? Don't come up with excuses, and then don't criticize anyone. Not yourself, not anyone. If you do these 3 things for 7 days, you will see that your entire life changes for the better. By the way, if in day 3 you criticize someone, or you come up with an excuse to someone, or you blame something, start over. Start over until you manage to succeed 7 days continuously. You'll see if you do this for 7 days, every single day, you will never want to go back to criticizing, making excuses, or blaming others. Because the moment you take responsibility for your life, your entire life changes. It's such an amazing thing. Again, we can talk about it more on email if you want to. Just email me and we can take it from there. And then the final 2 things, one thing, but the final thing is I'm also a big believer in Stoicism. So Stoicism almost died off when Christian crusades, went over them and, basically were killing everyone that didn't believe in God or whatever. I don't know. I wasn't there, but history depicts it as being very gruesome. So Stoicism is something I invite you to consider to some extent, because Stoicism is based on 4 very specific virtues. You can Google them and you can see. But basically, once you master those virtues, you live a life of meaning, a life of logic, a life of love, a life of consideration, motivation, and so on and so forth. So that's something that helps. And one of the lessons in Stoicism, the final thing I'm going to say today, is this concept of AMOR FATI. That means like some people don't accept their fate and they're miserable. Other people accept their fate and they're okay, they're doing okay. And then other people that learn the principle of AMOR FATI love their fate. AMOR, it means love, and FATI means fate. So AMOR FATI means to love your fate. So if something bad happens to you, it's something that you think is bad, guess what? There's an obstacle there. That means there is a solution and a value of equal or higher value than the obstacle. So if you want to get a job and you didn't get the job, the value there is to learn how to be better in an interview, how to learn about the company more, how to choose your career path or choose a different career path, right? If you wanted to close a specific client and that deal didn't close, it's your chance to go back and say, hey, I really want to just have a personal one-on-one. We are not going to talk business at all, just a personal one-on-one. You hop on that call and say, hey, Frank, may I ask you a few questions just personally on a personal level? Okay, what turned you off from working with me or with us or whatever, right? I would really love to know. This isn't about business. This is me personally, because you and I had a conversation and I feel that the conversation went well, yet we didn't end up working together. So I am asking for your feedback if you would be so kind as to provide it. And then guess what? You can have an amazing relationship with that person. They can give you feedback so you win on the next one, which might be a bigger deal, and then the bigger deal, and then the bigger deal. So love your fate. Love anything that happens to you. Sometimes it's difficult, especially if bad things happen to you. But the moment you become a follower of Stoicism and you understand the value of loving your fate, you'll see, and if you're Christian or religious, you also believe nothing happens by accident, right? Everything is destined. Everything, like, you have your faith, right? So based on that, let me know your thoughts. You can, again, email me. You can use the comment section if you prefer. I love shooting these videos thus far. I hope they add value to you. If you have any feedback, if you want me to talk about anything specifically, again, email me or let me know in the comments, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you so much. See you. Bye.